I don't feel hunger. Ask me anything. I haven't felt hunger in 13 years. I was abused and getting fed wasn't a when but an if. The event caused me to develop a psychological condition where I don't feel hunger. I have passed out after not eating for days at S-time because I just forgot. I snack because food tastes good, but I'm very picky because even though I need food to live, it doesn't feel like I'm gaining any energy from it. It just feels like eating a flavored sponge, so I don't eat unless it tastes really good. Not nearly as interesting as other stories I have, but I thought it would be interesting. Edit. Wow, this blew up. If you have any questions about my abuse, please check it out, it's way more interesting. I have no idea how this is so popular. Edit number 2, for you guys asking, this is the story of how I killed my dad, because my old ama got deleted. I was brutally sexually, physically, and mentally abused by my father as young as 7 months old. He would rip me, and force me to perform oral for hours. He wouldn't feed me for days. He made me sleep on the floor and would beat me daily. He would put his lit cigarettes in my rectum. He would force me to crawl on the floor naked while he dripped boiling water on me. He would invite other men to rip me for money. One day he was drunk, drunker than normal, and was holding a knife. He charged at me and was talking about how he was going to kill me, and duck my corpse. I was crying and screaming, and he kept barely cutting me. This was regular for me, but he was acting different. He was serious this time, and I could tell. I ran into the kitchen, and he was cooking pasta. I dumped the pot of hot water on him, and when he dropped the knife, I picked it up, stabbed him in the gut. I kept stabbing him until he stopped breathing. I then ran to the neighbor's house and called the cops. After a long and complex trial, they agreed it was in self-defense. I would love to answer any questions you have. Fascinating. Thanks for sharing. Do you feel the need to address this with a nutritionist/therapist/physician? Or have you adapted to it? My therapist is who told me I had it, but I've adapted to it. Except for that one time my girlfriend was on spring break and I was between jobs in a new city and my phone broke and I forgot to eat for 2 weeks and passed in line at Target, got rushed to the emergency room and had to be in the hospital for 3 days. Besides that, I've coped pretty good. Wow. My heart goes out to you. People do some horrible things to each other. What kinds of things do you eat in a typical day? What's your experience been with cooking/baking? I love to cook for my girlfriend who loves to eat and can't get enough of my cooking. I don't very healthy, sadly. I usually skip breakfast and lunch on work days and eat pasta, dumplings, or soup for dinner, or we eat out. On weekends I make my girlfriend waffles and will eat one myself. For lunch I will have an apple, her request. On all days I eat a lot of junk food, chips, cookies, ice cream, and cupcakes. Being a girl, I get lots of compliments on how thin I am, but I'm very underweight and unhealthy. What is your favorite food? I like sweet foods usually, but I live for steak. Trader Joe's has these coffee brownies ice cream, so good. Also, what food do you dislike? I can't stand Brussels sprouts. I have this idea I call the window. It shows how much like a food, the more open the window is the more you like it. You might like cupcakes, but you don't like cupcakes that have been peeled, so it's not open all the way. You might hate Brussels sprouts unless they are cooked a very practical way. Your window is open just a hair. My windows for most food is open, except for veggies, but only a little. That's a very weird answer. I hope it made sense. Have you eaten today? Oops. Give me a second. Have you tried cloves and dill pickles? No, but I like dill pickles. I tried them at my friend's bachelor party and I bought like 7 jars of them while my girlfriend begged me not to make her check out with me and my cart of exclusively pickles. If you don't mind sharing, how old are you now and how much do you weigh? I am 21. I am 5 feet 5 inches. I weigh 100 pounds. Have you ever heard of Soylent? They make meal replacement drinks and bars that give you all the calories and nutrition you'd get out of a full meal. I've never tried any of their products, but I have heard positive things about them. I have heard of them, but they taste gross as hell. How do you know when to eat? Do you have a specific time? I set alarms on my phone or my amazing girlfriend reminds me. Do you get uncomfortable about folks complimenting on your thin frame? Do you ever make them uncomfortable by telling them the truth? When men say it, I always say, thanks. I'm very underweight, and your values of healthy are based only on what you find attractive. I am not healthy, and this is not a good weight to be. When girls say it, I say it's not healthy. I am very unhealthy and this is not a weight to strive to be. How picky are you from 1 to 10? Are there any foods you absolutely despise? 7. Any melon? Do you have a favorite food to eat? Yellow cupcakes with chocolate frosting. I'm sorry that happened to you. How many meals do you eat a day now? Weekends 2 to 3, weekdays 0 to 2. If it was up to me I would just eat dinner, but my girlfriend isn't a fan of me not eating. But be aware that I snack like a monster. r/dark viper, the dream of yours. It's not. Not feeling hunger is terrible, you forget to eat and pass out. Not eating isn't normal. It's not something to strive for. You might not feel it, but does food give you energy? Like after drinking coffee, do you feel more woke? I don't drink coffee, but food does give me energy, I just don't feel it. You said you only like foods that taste good, is that exclusively junk food? Are there any healthy foods that you love the taste of that some people may not like as much as you? X. I love olives. Like so much. A lot of my friends think they're gross, but I can easily eat an entire can in a sitting. Do you have any food like that? I love olive, we are olive buddies, hearts of palm, Brussels sprouts, peas, corn on the cob, any cow meat, any non-melon fruit, bacon, hamburgers, asparagus, crab, spam, and anchovies. Do you have a correlating disorder to your symptoms? There are several that include this type of experience. PTSD, anxiety, body dysmorphia, ECT. Yeah, I don't either. Sometimes the thought of having to eat multiple times a day every day for the whole rest of my life is just overwhelming. I feel that. Your English seems a bit broken. Is that because you've been isolated for so long, or is English your second language? I have a learning disability called dysgraphia that affects spelling and grammar. Because this is the internet, I know that one mistake and I will get called out and snarky "I'm better than you" ways. Your comment isn't rude, don't worry. So I avoid some words making my English sound kinda broken. I am native English and I sound normal talking, I just rely so heavily on spell check that thing can go wrong. What is the longest you have gone without eating? During abuse, 28 days without any food. I was tied up on the toilet while father was out of town. After abuse, 2.5 weeks during spring break. Very much jealous of you. I really want not to feel hunger so that I can just die without pain. I understand how you feel. You want to die but don't want to feel pain, because you want the pain to stop. Killing yourself doesn't make the pain stop. It gives the pain to your family, your neighbors, the old man who runs checkout at the local grocery store, your parents' neighbors, the dogs you pet when you pass them on the street, the babies you smile out. You put good in the world. You are rusted and numb, but you aren't worthless. You put so much good in the world, from all the flowers you don't step on, the candy you give out on Halloween, You can't die without pain because the pain you feel inside will always be there. I'm not a therapist, but I suggest you find one. Have you ever tried weed as a therapy? Yes, it doesn't work. Do you still crave things like sugar? Duck, yeah. The hardest thing to explain is food is still delicious. I eat for fun. Eating 20 salads versus 1 cupcake one doesn't give me more energy, so I eat the cupcake. I don't /T mean to belittle your problems, but I wish I couldn't feel hunger, or like any pain that has to do with my stomach. It'd probably help me beat my eating disorder. Sorry, this isn't a question, lol. As somebody who had an eating disorder, getting thin doesn't help. You're never thin enough. I read through the comments, so I hope this wasn't asked yet, but what is your favorite junk food to munch on? Cupcakes or hint of lime chips, or beef jerky? I know personally when I'm hungry for long stretches, there's a part of me that's really tired if I don't eat. Do you get tired from being hungry, or is it something you've tuned out? It doesn't affect you? Maybe it's more mental than physiological for me, and that would be fascinating to confirm. I don't feel tired for the first 24 hours, then I constantly feel like I need to conk out. But being a college student with a full-time job, and severe PTSD, this isn't that strange. Have you ever overeaten? All the time. One time I ate 2 whole steaks, 3 Sprites, 3 things of fries, 2 baked potatoes and sundae within an hour period. You said you only like foods that taste good. Is that exclusively junk food? Are there any healthy foods that you love the taste of that some people may not like as much as you? I know personally when I'm hungry for long stretches, there's a part of me that's really tired if I don't eat. How has your daily life been affected by this? Do you ever have moments where you wish you didn't feel this way? Any specific foods that you could eat a lot of because it just tastes good? Sorry for all the questions. 1. As a girl I get a lot of comments like, is she anorexic? She just wants attention. I wish I was as skinny as her, things like that, and I feel bad for girls who think that I'm a skinny legend or who have eating disorders and get bullied for it. 1.5. I don't eat so I can be very weak. 2. Anything sweet or meat. Do you ever forget that you need to eat? All the time. I'll be like, who needs food, pass out an hour later and be like, me needs food. This is dead and has been for days, but I wanted to add on to saying that I got into Pratt Institute, and that was my first choice, so I'm more than thrilled. I got a girlfriend and a second dog, and recently paid for a headstone for my father. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. I just want to make enough chicken nuggets that I can get a good boil like this one.